Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. It's your host, Delano, on the FanWide Podcast. Yo, this is the trade deadline show. Check this out. The Washington Mystics are on the clock. We're going to see if they're going to pull some additional moves. They recently threw the entire Sticks Nation for a loop, right? By trading Brittney Sykes, right? I can see that the move was a good move for the future, but it doesn't sit well with a lot of people from the fan base, right? So we like, hey, we're gonna miss Britt, we're gonna miss Slim, but some things are what they are. Sometimes you just gotta move on, you gotta do what you do. And we thought this was a move that was generated directly from leadership, but that wasn't necessarily the case. So again, we're happy to see Britt, Slim go on to greener pastures, literally with going to the storm. But it also is true that this was a mutual part in ways. So Brittney Sykes was traded per her request. Hey, she was like, hey, she's done enough. She sent a heartfelt message to the entire Sticks Nation and to the DMV that she enjoyed her time and, things of that nature. But it was time for her to go on. And our leadership honored it. And that helped us get a number one pick. I'm sorry, a first round pick for next year. So now, what are we going to do as we go forward, right? We got a few more hours to go. The trade deadline is at 3 p.m. So, we got moves. We got things to talk about. Who we expect to move. Or who we think might be sticking around. Yeah, so do this for me. In the comments, let us know who you think is going to be out of the way. All right, so Uncle Weez, I appreciate you tuning in always. I'm going to miss my girl. Yeah, Slim is going to be definitely missed. For real. For real. Who? JC? JC, we've had discussions about JC coming to the Mystics. JC is a tough ball player out of Connecticut. But I don't know if she's in the long-term plans for the team. So I think we're gonna miss that boat. Yeah. All right. So the great benefactor. Thank you for tuning in again. As always, appreciate you, my guy. For real. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Give me a second here. All right. So who do we think is going to get moved? Who do we think is going to stick in town? I think that the big conversation has been around Aaliyah Edwards, but we're going to discuss her momentarily. We're going to discuss her in a second. All right, so there are some trade rumors that have been circulating around the internet, and they're saying that Emily Engstler may be on the move, right? Because she is a swing forward. She's able to play both the small forward and the power forward position, right? She can shoot the three, right? She hasn't performed like normal this season, but I attribute that to the lack of playing time because we have two dynamic rookies that are playing right now, right? I think that there's a possibility that she might be moved, but it's going to be difficult. We're not going to get back a major haul. I think that we might get a second round pick, or maybe a third round pick. because we don't really need to bring in any players right now. Because again, we're moving for the future. We already have at least 3, maybe 4 rookies that are going to be on next year's team, right? But it all depends on how things go, right? So definitely, we already know that Kiki Arifin is going to be on the team. You know that Sonia Citron is definitely going to be on the team. Georgia Amore is going to be on the team, right? Unless something catastrophic happens with her injury. But from what I understand, what I've seen, I think that she is going in the right direction. She's trending forward to be ready for next season, right? But we'll see. So then that brings us to Lucy Austin. We'll see if she's in the plans for next year, right? Because as of today, as of right now, we have 3 first-round draft picks for the 2026 season. Our GM, Jamila Wyman, is swindling the entire WNBA league. She's making these front offices look like they don't know what they're doing, right? Because she's getting first-round picks like they're nothing, like they're water, right? All right, so the Seattle Storm is going to benefit from the trade with Brittney Sykes, but we get a first-round draft pick. So that gives us 3 first-round draft picks for next season, right? So now, let's talk about who Emily Engstler could be moved for based on these trade rumors, right? Then we're going to talk about Aaliyah Edwards. And is it in our best, is it one of our best capable moves to move Aaliyah Edwards? Is it? Or is it not? We're going to talk about it. Matter of fact, in the chat, in the comments, if we ended up moving Emily Engstler, who do you think we should move her for? And why? Maybe could be JC Sheldon out of Connecticut. You know, it could be. But I don't know about it right now. I don't know about it. But I would prefer to have a draft pick than a player at this point. Because it's so much good talent coming out in these next couple years. We got a strong possibility of doing something great. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's see what happens. All right. So according to, let's see here. According to these trade rumors, there's a possibility that Emily Engstler can be traded, and also Stephanie Dawson can be traded, right? So they can be a pair, or they can be an add-on to an additional trade. But we'll see. We'll talk about it. All right. So Emily Engstler, they've definitely have been on a lot of teams' radar just because of their capabilities. And since we're going to a playoff push, it's always good to have bodies that can do different things and help your team, right? All right, so let's see here. So we're looking at, let's see here. They're saying Emily Engstler could be traded to, let's see here. Possibly could be traded to, again, could be Connecticut with JC Sheldon, or let's see here. We also can see her going to, there we go. There we go. Now we got it cooking. Now we got it cooking. Maybe the Dallas Wings. This is according to some trade rumors. So Emily Engstler plus a conditional 2026 third-round pick, and for the Mystics to receive in return Lou Lopez Senicella, I believe. Don't get me wrong. I could be butchering the name. I most likely am. I apologize in advance. All right. And she is a guard and she was a 2023 top 5 pick, but she's recovering from injury. So that's one trade that has been floated around. And, you know, she's a shooter. You know, we can always use additional shooters. In the wings, they get defensive, they get hustle, and, you know, that could be something, right? But it's like, hey, is that really going to benefit us going forward? Losing any draft picks, unless we go get a draft pick in return. I don't like that trade personally. I don't think that's the move for us. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Uncle Weeze, I want draft picks for our trades. I agree. If we trade in people, we need to be bringing back ability to get assets to the team, right? So, yeah, I agree with you 100%. If we go make a trade, let's get a draft pick to come back. If not, you know, we might be parting ways with Emily anyway. It's just the nature of the beast right now, right? Um, all right, so one of the drawbacks of doing this in the vehicle, the phone overheats. So bear with me, bear with me. All right, now we back. Now we back. All right, so we've already said that there's a possibility that Emily Engstler could be traded to Dallas, right? I don't like the trade that has been proposed. I don't like this trade rumor. So I'm going to throw it in the trash because we're not getting any draft picks back. They're getting a player that I don't think is going to benefit us for the future. because we can get a shooter in the draft. We can get a shooter in the draft. All right, so let's see here. Now, an additional rumor here. We have a trade that includes, I don't like this. I don't like how this is starting off. We'll see what you guys think. If the Washington Mystics trade the newly acquired 2026 draft pick from Seattle plus Stephanie Dawson, okay? I don't like how this is shaping up so far, but let's see what else they say. It might change my perspective on this one, right? All right, so to either the Chicago Sky or the Phoenix Sun, right, to move up in the draft for a draft pick. I don't know how I like this. I think it's too we don't know how this can shake up because Phoenix is doing well. I don't think that'll benefit us taking a pick from them or we're trading up. Yeah, I think that it's too big of a gamble because Seattle, they have a chance to make it to the finals, but Phoenix has a chance too. So we could be shooting ourselves in the foot. So I'm not sure about that one because it's not definite. I don't like trades that are not definite winners for us. And if we were to trade her to, hold up, I'm sorry, the Sun is Connecticut. So brain fart. All right, so no, if we were able to get a higher pick from Connecticut, if we can pull it off, if we can swindle it, great, let's do it. But I don't see where Connecticut would want Stephen Dawson for a first round pick. I don't see it. So we're going to scratch that one. I don't think that one's attainable. Then you also have Stephanie Dawson going to Chicago. I don't see that happening either. They already have really good bigs with Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso. Then you also have E-Will out there. I don't think it benefits us at all. I don't. So scratching that, trashing that too. All right. So now there has been rumors about Stephanie Dawson being traded to the Liberty. Now, in theory, I can see how this can benefit the Liberty. I can see how they will want Stephanie Dawson. She's a big mama, can shoot the rock, right? She don't rebound too often, but she can do her thing, right? All right. So this proposed trade is Stephanie Dawson to the Liberty, and in return, the Mystics receive Naira Sabali and a 2026 second round pick. I will say this: if we're able to pull that one, I wouldn't be mad at it. I'd like, hey, come on, welcome to the squad. You never know how that can translate into the future. You might be able to get her sister. You never know. Things can really turn in our favor. We'll see, right? So I'm not opposed to that trade. I'm not. All right. Now, if we do make that trade, we're offloading a salary that's coming off of the books anyway in 2026 because she will be a free agent. But we're getting younger, and of course, we're building for the future. And the Liberty brings another veteran, and they're getting ready for the playoff run. They need a big that can score, especially since Stewie is hurt. You gotta. This is the year. This is the playoff stretch where teams are going to load up. They should be loading up to go for the long haul. They should be. But we'll see what they do. But hey, I would say yes. We appreciate your services, Big Mama, but we understand if you get moved on, right? Yeah. So now I will also say that there's another trade rumor, or this has been a long-standing trade rumor, where you have Aaliyah Edwards being traded to the Dallas Wings to be paired up with Paige Buckers. So it's like, hey, do we, allow her to make a move and re up with her homie, her college running mate from the Connecticut Huskies, or do we make a different move, or do we keep Aaliyah? I think that right now, if we're able to get a first round draft pick, whether it's in 2026, 27, or even 2028, I think we should go ahead and pull the move. I think we should, because she has a lot of value, and we should probably take advantage of that at this point, because this is a rebuild. We got an opportunity to get some even better players, right, in these upcoming drafts. And we love her, but it just might be one of those times where she might have to go. She might have to be traded somewhere else. So that has been the long-standing trade to make Paige happy. But the way that Dallas Wings are moving, I don't really see that happening, because they're another team that's really technically in a rebuild. So giving up trade capital might not be in their future plans. So yeah, I don't really see that one happening at this point. If this was pulled when we first got the news, maybe so. So now they also have floated this trade. They have floated a package deal that includes Aaliyah Edwards, Stephanie Dawson getting traded to the Atlanta Dream, right? So Atlanta Dream gets Aaliyah Edwards, Stephanie Dawson, and the Mystics receive the 2026 first round draft pick. And we also get Haley Jones. I'm not mad at that deal. I'm really not mad at that deal. We get a first round draft pick. I'm not mad at that. But we have to see. I don't see that. I really don't see that happening. I don't see it, but I like it. We get that first round draft pick. Now, this is also what I believe. This is what I really believe the Mystics should do. I really believe that the Mystics should keep Aaliyah Edwards for now. Not for the future, but for now. And why I say for now is, when you have a draft that's coming, right? And you have the ability, unless we're going to get a first round draft pick. If we're not going to get a first round draft pick, I think this is the best scenario for the Washington Mystics. Okay. I would trade Aaliyah Edwards closer to the draft. It could be a draft transaction that's similar in timing to either the Ariel Atkins trade, where it was like a month or so, I believe, before the draft, or it could be a trade where we traded Carly Samuelson to Minnesota for a first round draft pick the day of the draft. I think that the day of the draft, we might be able to really pull a move, right? And when I say that, I say trade Aaliyah Edwards to the expansion team the Toronto tempo, right? And we probably wouldn't get a first round draft pick, but we could probably get a couple seconds, right? So if we get a second in 26 and 27, I'm not mad at it, right? Or even if we just get a second in 27 or 26, I'm not mad. And the reason why I say this is a mutual beneficial trade for both parties. If Aaliyah Edwards is traded to the Toronto Tempo right before the draft, once the new league year starts over, then Aaliyah Edwards can be back in home because she is from Canada, right? Aaliyah Edwards is from, hold on, I had pulled the map up and everything. Where did my map go? Pretty much, Aaliyah Edwards, if she plays in Toronto, she is 3 hours away from her home where she was born, right? So I think it's mutual beneficial for both parties because Aaliyah Edwards will be back in Canada, you know, even though she's Americanized, she do her thing, but being home and being around family, you never know what that spark can do for her career, right? On top of, Toronto needs a star player that they can rally behind. And why not let that be somebody Canadian born? It makes perfect sense to me. Does it make perfect sense to you? You know, all parties benefit. We get draft picks. We get opportunity to build our team. Toronto gets a player that they can focus on that's homegrown. I think that would be the perfect pick. We can't make that trade right now because Toronto is not technically a team yet. They're not established as a team yet. But if we're able to keep Aaliyah Edwards for now and trade her to Toronto when the timing is right, everybody can win. Everybody can win. Because you think about it, in Toronto, if they get Aaliyah Edwards, they will go crazy in Toronto. And that's another thing, the fourth party, the WNBA wins. The WNBA wins. So everybody can win if Aaliyah Edwards is traded to Toronto. You heard that first from me, Delano, your trusted voice for Washington Mystic content. But it's like, did we make the right move? Jamila Wideman has been killing her moves. I see this as the type of move that she would do because other teams are not looking for it, right? We might not, I think it'll be tough for us to get that first round pick right now. Unless another trade option where we can possibly get a first round pick would be if she's traded to New York, right? Because they need a backup big behind Stewie, right? Or if we can get a 2027 draft pick from Minnesota. So there are a few avenues where we can potentially get a first round pick, but it'll be tough for Aaliyah Edwards. But I think that the trade that benefits the most is Aaliyah Edwards being traded in the right before the 2026 draft to the Toronto Tempo. That's what I think. She's still a first round talent, right? Even though her production hasn't been what we're used to and what we were wanted to be this season, but hey, she's playing behind a juggernaut and Kiki Irving. It is what it is. So time is not of her benefit right now, right? But if she go to Toronto, she go get the ball all day long, right? So that will be my recommendation to the Washington Mystics leadership, to Jamila Wideman. You know, I know y'all be watching, but yeah, that's what I would say. Aaliyah Edwards to Toronto. Keep that in mind. Let me know what you think. Let me know, do you think any other players will be on the move in 2000? Well, actually, this season. Who else do you think can possibly be on the move? But again, we got a few more hours until the trade deadline is completed. It's a very good possibility that we are done for the day, but we really don't know, because that trade with Brittney Sykes came out of nowhere, was totally unexpected. It's just one of those things. Hey, who else can be on the move? You just don't know. You just don't know. But I think that, do we got any updates or anything? Uh-oh. I think I got some breaking news. Yo. Uncle Weeze, I think he called it, my brother. Did you see this already? Wow. Uncle Weeze. We talked this trade up. Uncle Weeze. Okay. Aaliyah Edwards has been traded to Connecticut. The trade has occurred. I thought I was going to be in here getting some stuff off before. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's run through it. All right. So Aaliyah Edwards has been traded to the Connecticut Sun for J.C. Sheldon. This is somebody that we've talked about in other videos. We've talked about these trade scenarios. I tell you, somebody be watching us. So y'all, hey, I'm trying to tell you, this is definitely your trusted voice for Washington Mystic content, for real. Do me a favor, go ahead and like the video. Go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because hey, we got some stuff to talk through. All right, so again, Aaliyah Edwards has been traded to Connecticut, right? And just for some overview of her background, right? Aaliyah Edwards is a product of the Connecticut Huskies trilogy of dynamic players, right? That's come out of the collegiates going to the WNBA, right? So now she has an opportunity to go back to Connecticut, right? Where she's familiar, right? So, hey, let's see what happens. So again, we have another game tonight. So J.C. Sheldon is a two guard that is pretty much has had a long-standing beef with Caitlin Clark. So just know that J.C. Sheldon is the player that got into the dust-up with Indiana Fever players due to some quote-unquote rough play with Caitlin Clark, right? So if anybody got beef, is not scared when they play Indiana Fever, is the Washington Mystics, right? So J.C. Sheldon is a great piece for the team. Yeah, J.C. Sheldon, wow, is now a Washington Mystic. Hey, she can defend. She can assist with bringing the ball up. She's a three-point shooter. I like J.C. Sheldon for our team. I like it. And she's also on a rookie deal, right? So the money is similar, pretty much similar, right? So J.C. Sheldon also came out in the same draft as Aaliyah Edwards, Angel Reese, as Caitlin Clark. So I love it. So yeah, again, this has been reported 25 minutes ago. So we had already started this conversation. So yes, she has been traded. Aaliyah Edwards is no longer a Washington Mystic. The 6'3" forward has been traded to the Connecticut Sun. Again, wow. Yeah. Did we get any draft picks in return? It doesn't appear that we got a draft pick in return, but I really like Sheldon for our squad, right? I really like it. I really like it. Now, the question is, will she be our starting 2 guard? Will she be coming off the bench? Will she be our point guard and then we move and transition Suggs Sutton to the 2? This is going to be interesting. I think that Suggs Sutton is pretty much cementing herself as a point guard, especially for the Washington Mystics, right? But I think J.C. Sheldon is going to be. I think J.C. Sheldon is going to be. I think J.C. Sheldon is going to be our starting 2 guard, right? And Sonia Citron will end up being our small forward. So now we have a trio of defenders that can really get to it. And let's get some stats on J.C. Sheldon so y'all can know what we got in return. J.C. Sheldon, again, is a product of Ohio State, a 24-year-old guard, and she's 5'10", so she's not super tall, but she played with a lot of heart. Now, with J.C. Sheldon being in the mix, does this mean Lucy Olsen is going to go back to more of a utility reserve type of role, where she's not necessarily going to get a whole bunch of burn, a whole bunch of time? Things are cooking. And I wonder if this is the last deal of the day. We don't know. I know that J.C. Sheldon is a good pickup, but Jamila Wyman has been moving and dealing, as you can see. So we'll see if this is it. All right. Yeah. So J.C. Sheldon, again, is a 24-year-old, 5'10" guard out of Ohio State, and in this particular season has averaged 7.5 points, just about 1 rebound a game, 2 assists, 1 steal, and let's get the rest of these stats popping. All right. So so she was actually drafted to Dallas, then was acquired and by trade to Connecticut, and she has improvement points from being a rookie to now. So again, she's averaging 7.5 points a game. She started 17 games this season, so she hasn't even started all the games. And she's averaging about 24 minutes a game. So she's getting burned, right? So let's see here. Shooting wise, she shoots 47% from the field, which is a good shooting percentage. And for 3, she's shooting 41%. So she can knock it down. I think she's a great pickup. J.C. Sheldon is somebody we have mentioned in trade opportunities for the Washington Mystics, and we were the first to talk about that. So for the Mystics to actually pull that deal, you want to listen to your trusted voice for Washington Mystic content. Trust me. Hey, so now my question is Emily Engstler getting moved, or is Stephen Dawson getting moved, or we're both getting moved? I think that if Jamila Wideman can pull a good deal, I think that both will be gone today. I think so. Aaliyah Edwards, Stephanie Dawson, Emily Engstler have been fan favorites. We love them, but we understand that this is a business. This is the business of women's basketball. So everybody can't stay. Some people got to go. And I think that there's a possibility that they might be gone. We'll see. But again, as of 30 minutes ago, the Washington Mystics have traded Aaliyah Edwards forward to the Connecticut Sun in return for guard J.C. Sheldon. Yo, let's see what happens. Let's see what else is happening. So now, I'm going to go ahead and, hold on. What you say, Uncle Weeze? What you got for me, Uncle Weeze? So I guess she's in our rotation now. You better believe it. Yes, indeed, Uncle Weeze. You better believe it. She's in the rotation for real. Without a doubt. But let's do this. We're going to break this down even further after the game tonight, because we'll probably get to see our newly acquired Aaliyah Clark play tonight. And I'm not sure if, I don't think J.C. Sheldon would be, no, I don't expect J.C. Sheldon to play tonight. Don't expect it, because it's just so far, the timing, I don't think it's going to equal up to be able to get her in the lineup tonight. So don't expect it. But yeah, Jamila Wideman, the new general manager, is making deals, making moves. So hey, who do you think anybody else is in the comments? Let's do this. Do you think anybody else is going to get moved? If so, who? Because Aaliyah Edwards is gone. Listen, we got a new player in J.C. Sheldon, and we'll see what happens from here. But we definitely, if like this, if something else happens between now and the trade deadline with our Washington Mystics, I will be jumping back on. Believe it. But if not, if this is our only move of the day, that means that we will discuss this further after the game tonight. And, you know, this was something we foresaw here at the FanWire Podcast. But yeah, let's see what happens. But let's say if we don't get another trade, we definitely will have a discussion later on tonight. So make sure that if you haven't subscribed, make sure you turn on the bell notification so that you can be made aware of when the next video drops, because we're going live. We're just talking through it. And also, put in the comments if you want to get on video with me so we can discuss this together. Put it in the comments, and I'll make sure that you can get on tonight. Let's talk through it. Again, this is your host, Delano, on the FanWire Podcast, your trusted voice for Washington Mystic content. Hey, we talking through it. But hey, trade deadline is until 3 p.m., so we got a few more hours to go. Let's see if something else jumps off in a few. All right, if not, I'll be talking to y'all tonight. Trust that. Tune in. Set them notifications. We out of here.